Hello, Otterites. This is Robert. And today we've got a very special episode for you. As listeners know, we were at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival in Bardstown back in September. And while there, we had the opportunity to interview Joyce, who is the master distiller and owner of Jephtha Creed. And this is the interview. I had a fantastic time recording it and talking to her. She's a wonderful lady. And Jephtha Creed is one of our very favorite bourbons on the podcast, as you probably well know. So here's a listen and enjoy. And we'll be back with our next episode at the regular time in December. All right, folks, this is Robert here with Joyce, right?
I'm Joyce Nethery.
Joyce. And you are the master distiller for Jephtha Creed, right?
Yes.
And that's owner and master distiller.
Owner, master distiller, CEO. I'll take
Chief
out the
cook and
trash.
bottle washer.
Yeah, all of that. All those different hats.
Right. Now your daughter works with you too, right?
Yes.
She is. So that's very definitely a family business.
Definitely. So we're a mother-daughter ownership team.
Uh-huh.
And beyond that, we grow the corn ourselves. My family does. My husband actually grows the corn.
Right.
And so we are a ground to glass distillery.
Right.
And all of the corn that we use in our Jephtha Creed bourbon comes from our owned property. So it's all estate-grown corn.
Right. That is awesome, because I love that, not just because you guys are doing everything, but you guys also, because I saw you once before, and you mentioned how if you can't grow it, you're going to buy it, but locally.
Right. As
So
local
you're willing
as we can.
as local as you can. That I think is phenomenal. It's one of the things I like about all the craft guys. All the it seems to be all focused on that local stuff, which I really like. But I don't think anybody else is doing ground to glass, right?
There's a few
A
people
few? Okay.
out there, but it's not real common because it's very hard.
It is, yeah.
It's
That's
very
labor
difficult.
intensive, yeah.
Yeah, so like our single barrel that we have here today, our festival single barrel,
Uh-huh.
it is 5 years, 8 months old.
Okay.
That means for us to make that bottle is actually taking us 6 years and 8 months, or actually 7 years to make it, because we grow the corn.
Right.
So there's a whole other year invested in our bottles.
Right. That's true. That's a good point, because that's something you just don't think about, is the extra time for that.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have the 6-year weeded. That's new for you guys.
All right, we just came out with that earlier this year.
And I was really hoping the red, white, and blue would be here, because I really loved that. But I tried the 6-year weeded. I switched that. Did a little chew on that. That was phenomenal. That really opened up when I did that. So I was very impressed with that. But I've really been impressed with all of them. You guys have a really good lineup. And, we have complimented it many times on the show.
Well, we appreciate you guys, for sure.
Well, we talk it up. Normally this is a small part of our show. We're not actually a bourbon show, but we do a break in the middle where we talk about whatever bourbons we happen to be drinking. So it kind of rotates, but there's always a bourbon element to it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So what did you do before you owned your own distillery?
Well, we are really control freaks, and I actually have a degree in chemical engineering from University of Louisville Speed Scientific School.
Excellent.
And I worked in industrial distillation for many years, distilling methyl methacrylate, which is a founding monomer in lots of different plastics and plastics additives.
Okay.
And what I have found over time is if I am distilling MMA for plastic, or if I am distilling ethanol for bourbon, the principles, applications, techniques are all very, very similar.
Interesting. Okay.
Bourbon is a lot more fun.
I was going to say that, yes. Much more fun, yes.
Yes, customers are beautiful.
So did you have bourbon experience before you opened up Jephtha Creed, before you started the venture?
That's not a whole lot.
Okay.
I did things like I went to Moonshine University and their 5-day distillers course, which is now a 6-day distillers course.
Right.
And did a lot of studying, asked a lot of questions,
Wow.
did a lot of research.
To me, that makes what you've done even more impressive, because so many of these people here, even the ones that are not part of the big distilleries, you find that they've got a family history going back however many generations, and they're starting some new startup because the old family, bourbon has been sold off.
Yeah.
So what you've managed to create, essentially, as a first generation, I gotta say that's some impressive bourbon you've created.
Thank you so much. And we're kind of starting our own little legacy here. So we built this for the kids. My daughter and I have a son, so we built it for them that they could carry it on.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And we have to give a shout out to the cocktail that you guys have here. We tried it last year,
And I gotta say, that's one of the things I've looked forward to the most coming back.
It's the best one.
It is the best cocktail here. It is. It's called the Harvest.
The Harvest Festival, Harvest Moon,
Harvest Moon. Yeah, Harvest Rye.
Harvest Rye. That's
Yeah,
it.
and that is just it's just great. It's like drinking a caramel apple, you know. For me, that's just awesome stuff.
Yeah, today it's great on ice, but it's also really nice when you heat it up on a cold day.
Oh, I bet.
Make it warm. It's also really good that way.
Yeah. Have it like a little bit of cider. So.
Yes.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
appreciate your time. It was great talking to you.
Well,
and
thank you guys. I appreciate y'all stopping.
Hold on to that.
That's us.
Snakes, Otters,
Snakes and Otters podcast. Yep.
So you talk about snakes and otters?
No, we talk about history. We talk about pop culture stuff. We do something called Code of Honor, where we talk about a quote. We get into the meaning of stuff. Our tagline is pointless discussion of eternal questions.
I love it.
So we dig
That
into
sounds great.
the whys and stuff like that, and various things. Even we do history. We talk about what it means.
Well, I love the kilts too.
Thank you. That's new this year for us.
Oh, you guys were trying us. Did you get any information about our Ne Ouble motto, family motto from Scotland?
No.
Yeah.
So that's new to us. So what?
Yeah.
So tell us about that if you have time.
So prior to the distillery, I had been doing a lot of Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
And I had traced my husband's genealogy back to Scotland.
Okay.
The ancestor that came over here was fighting with the Jacobites
Yes.
in the first Jacobite uprising.
That's what I always say about my family too, is that we were kicked out in 1745 and been causing trouble ever since.
That's us too. That's us too. We got kicked out in 1715.
Oh, so you're early. Yeah.
Early. The first one. And the king, for some reason, this ancestor didn't get killed, but he says, I'm not going to kill you. You're getting on the ship, crossing the Atlantic, and becoming an indentured servant in the colonies.
Right.
Under those circumstances, he couldn't go home and get the crest, so the family motto and crest stayed in Scotland. When we first started, we thought my daughter would be our master distiller, and at the time she was underage, and we found no place here for her to go to school, and she went to Harriet Watt in Edinburgh in their brewing and distilling program, and she learned lots of things while she was over there. One of the things she learned is she does not like chemistry.
Oh, okay.
So that was a problem for Master Distiller. Now she's my master marketer. So
Gotta have that too.
hugely important.
Yes.
Hugely important. The other thing she found was the family motto, which is the Ne Ouble. And she called home, told my husband about it, and he got literal goosebumps because he can remember his great-grandfather talking to him and saying, now boy, don't you forget where you come from. So it was a family value that had come up through the generations, even though the crest was left back in Scotland.
And what does it translate to?
It translates into never forget.
Never forget. Okay.
Never forget.
Nice.
And in the family, don't forget where you come from.
That is wise words to live by. I don't care who you are.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again. I appreciate your
Thank you,
time.
guys. I appreciate
Thanks
you
so
all.
much.
We hope you enjoyed another pointless discussion of eternal questions. Remember, new episodes drop every second and fourth Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern, just in time for your morning commute. And every fifth Friday, we drop a special Hoopajube episode. Spread the word we are on all the major platforms, and leave us a review. That helps others find us. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, as well as our website, snakesandotters.com. Join us next time, same snake time, same otter channel.